I've been muted. Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and that means tonight was Friday Night Smackdown. Now, as far as tonight's Friday Night Smackdown does go, I thought it was a pretty good show. I enjoyed what happened on tonight's show. We got some stuff building up over the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure what they're doing with the U.S. title thing. I know we got the four-way tonight, and then we got the four-way next week, and then we got the triple, or the not the triple threat, but the singles match after that. So, are we getting the U.S. title match in 3 weeks, or are we getting it at SummerSlam? That's something they haven't said yet, as far as the U.S. title thing does go. Are we getting... So, next we got the four-way, then on the 28th we got the singles match, but then... Is the winner of that facing Austin Theory on SmackDown on the 4th, or at SummerSlam on the 5th? That's the big question. We don't know. We also know that Roman Reigns will be back next week. He'll be on the show. We had a good segment with Jey Uso. My mind's going blank. Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman, where Heyman took a heck of a super kick. So a lot of good things on tonight's show and a lot of good things to talk about. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits on the live chat. Remember, you can also support us by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to head over to YouTube, hit the join button, and become a channel member. Also, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're claiming a new game, maybe you're trying to purchase EA Sports FC, you know, that new soccer game. They don't call it FIFA anymore. It's EA Sports FC 24. Whether you're trying to get Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, claim the free game, Trains Valley 2. When you're getting right into Fortnite, Rocket League, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Again, use code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. So with that, why is it not... Buttons aren't working. Let's do this. Bingo. There we go. As far as SmackDown itself does go, show itself did begin with Jey Uso walking backstage as Michael Cole voiced over that, saying that Jey is on a warpath. We then went to the ring, and out came Bianca Belair. So the crowd chanted for the EST, and before Belair even began to talk, Belair then said that she's been hard to be patient because she wanted a rematch with Asuka so badly. Belair mentioned all the hoops she had to go through to get her rematch. Belair said that tonight will be her night, and she feels like she will become the champ again. Belair said that she's going to show Asuka the patience and the virtue of what she's going to do. Belair said that she will strut out as the new women's champion. But before she could finish, out would come Charlotte Flair. After Charlotte came down to the ring, the crowd kind of graced her with a bunch of woos, like crowd really wooing for Charlotte. Charlotte said that Bianca fired Charlotte up, and then said that Charlotte said that she believes that Bianca will win later tonight, and she's manifesting a win in the Flair country. Charlotte said that when Belair wins, she wants to make sure Belair knows that she, Charlotte Flair, will be next in line. The crowd was excited at the thought of Belair becoming the new champion and said that she wouldn't jinx herself. But Belair said that there would be nothing better than Charlotte versus Belair at SummerSlam with the WWE Women's Championship on the line. Belair said that she's all ready for Asuka. And before Belair and Charlotte shook hands, they solidified the potential match between the two. Belair said next month that she's ready for the match next month. She wants to take on Charlotte Flair. And then Charlotte let out a big woo to end the segment. So, cool. Basically, they're saying, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to beat Asuka. I'm going to get the title back, and then we're going to fight at SummerSlam. That's what they're saying. That's what they were suggesting. Charlotte versus Bianca for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. But not exactly what happened. Not exactly what happened. As we move forward, the Brawling Brutes were shown backstage. Sheamus hyped up Butch for competing in the Fatal 4-Way later tonight for a shot at the U.S. title. Ridge Holland said that tonight, Pretty Deadly is going to be eaten alive by Sheamus. We then head to the ring where Brutus made their entrance. Or the Brutes made their entrance, not Brutus, Brutes. We then had Pretty Deadly taking on the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus and Ridge Holland. So Sheamus and Prince began the match. Prince retreated to the outside. As a result, Sheamus pulled Wilson into the ring and beat him up. Prince then returned to the ring and went for a hip toss, but Sheamus blocked it and hit a clothesline. Holland then tagged in and worked Prince over with a headbutt and some punches. Holland lifted Prince, but Prince wiggled out of it, and a chop blocked Holland to give him his team control. Wilson then tagged in, and the Pretty Deadly guys double-teamed Holland until Holland lifted a back body drop to both of them. Tried to kind of take advantage, and then he did tag in Sheamus. Sheamus dropped Wilson over the top rope, and Sheamus worked 10 bells on bells of the Baldwin of Wilson, and Holland worked a variation of it on Prince until the show went to a commercial break. When the show returned, Prince was stomping on Sheamus. Wilson tagged in and kept momentum up with some elbows to Sheamus's chest. Wilson landed a running uppercut and tagged in Prince. Prince then tagged in quickly and kicked Sheamus in the face. Sheamus lifted Wilson on his shoulders and slammed him. But when Sheamus went for a tag, Prince ran around the corner and pulled Holland off the apron, basically not letting Sheamus tag him in. Wilson then utilized Prince and helped him, and it took Sheamus down. Wilson went to the top, but jumped into a knee of Sheamus. As a result, Sheamus finally got the hot tag to Holland, who landed a wild back body drop on Prince. Holland took out both members of Pretty Deadly and finally up before hitting a German suplex on Prince, who landed on Wilson. Holland then landed a Fisherman's Buster on Prince, I don't keep saying I say Princeton, Prince, who landed on Wilson. He then go for a 2 count, but he kicked out. Pretty Deadly, they went to the outside, and Sheamus came off the top onto both Pretty Deadly members and started to take advantage. Back in the ring, Holland hit a side slam on Prince and got a 2 count. Prince took a top turnbuckle padding off and ran Holland into it. Prince then hit a leg drop and, went for a 1-2-3. And there we go. Kind of just out of nowhere to me, the match just finishes. Prince and Wilson, Pretty Deadly just wins. Very weird. Not really sure exactly what happened there, but it just ended. They were going and going and going, and then all of a sudden Prince hit a leg drop from the top and 1-2-3. Just got it. I didn't really care for the finish there because it felt weird. It wasn't they were proud of anything there. It's weird because they didn't even do any move, I don't know. It was just very weird that the match just ended. I like the Pretty Deadly one, but it was just a weird finish. You know what I mean? I didn't understand the finish there. The match was good to the finish, just boom. Like all of a sudden it was just over. The match was finito. So kind of weird. Grayson Waller was interviewed backstage by Kathy Kelly. Waller recalled how he sworn against Edge last week. Waller talked about The Rock's and loved him. Waller said that he's going to face 3 of the best SmackDown has to offer later on tonight, and will have his hand raised in victory. Waller closed the interview by saying everything will happen, quote, if you smell what he's cooking. Really think he's going to get The Rock for some reason. I don't know. He did call The Rock on Twitter and make fun of The Rock and this and that, but ain't nothing going to happen. Ain't nothing going to happen with him and The Rock. Video recapped last night's Tribal Court segment with the Bloodline and all that. Footage from Money in the Bank was part of it. Michael Cole announced that Jimmy Uso is injured and will be out for the foreseeable future. Cole then said that today marks 48 days that Roman's the champion. Not Roman. Yeah, Roman Reigns is a champion. Jesse Hyde says from YouTube, he says, Waller teased The Rock. Yeah, but I don't think anything's going to happen with The Rock. I don't think we're going to get anything between Grayson Waller and The Rock. I just don't. So backstage, Charlotte Flair ran into Adam Pearce, and Charlotte told Pearce she's leaving the arena because she feels good about the match later. Bayley and Io came into the frame and said Charlotte isn't the only one who feels good as they pound on Sky's Money in the Bank briefcase. Charlotte, who was still around, said on second thought, maybe I will stay together just in case. I don't know. I didn't really care for all the whole, we'll talk about later. You know, we had Charlotte. He had a match, or not a match, but she had a, sorry, I'm not really feeling all that well. I've had some issues today. I really need to go see the doctor. Anyways, I didn't like the whole, Charlotte, or first off, Bayley and Io had a, what is it called? They had not a contract, but what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. Tickets. They had tickets, and they were in the front row. And then Charlotte does the same thing. It's like, really? I don't know about all that. It wasn't, it was whatever. Bayley did have a match tonight, though. She took on Zelina Vega. Only went 2 minutes, though. Really kind of meh. Bayley started things off and rained Vega to the outside, where she worked over Vega on the commentary table. They fought on the apron, and Vega started to kind of get control, rolling Bayley into the ring and hitting a Meteora for a 2. Vega landed a spinning leg breaker and got a 2 off of it. Bayley kind of started to fight back and grabbed Vega's flip-flop. Bayley ran into a code breaker, and Vega drove Bayley out of the ring, and started hitting her with a flip-flop. Like, she's just, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? She's beating Bayley up with a chonkla, whatever it's called, flip-flop. And the ref is like, you can't do that. How is that not a DQ? How is she using the flip-flop to beat up Bayley and she's not getting a DQ? Like, what? And then all of a sudden, Bayley just hits her with the rose plant and pins her. Are you freaking kidding me? Kind of a bad match, to be honest. No DQ for the flip-flop, and then Bayley just hits her, rose plant, pins her. Yeah, not good at all. Not good one bit. After the match, you get an interesting segment. So there's a video of Shotzi on the big screen. Shotzi said that Bayley probably thinks that she has control of Shotzi, but that's not the case. Shotzi then grabbed a razor or a razor blade, whatever you want to call it, and says, "You can't control me." And here's what's going to happen. And sure, just what's the word I'm looking for? Shotzi just starts. Why can't I think right now? Sorry, guys. I'm very sorry. She starts, shaving her head, and all of a sudden she's bald. Just shaves her head. Now here's the thing. She's like, "You can't control me. I'm going to do what I want." All of a sudden she's bald. But here's the thing. It's not just a storyline. She did it because her sister is actually dealing with cancer, and she, her hair, trimmed her hair to support her sister who was losing her hair because of cancer. So that's where it all went. Shotzi put her hair in her mouth. Bayley looked concerned, and there we go. Then we had Jey Uso. And this was a great segment. I liked this a lot. Jey stood in the ring for a bit before saying anything. Jey said growing up, he and Jimmy were, inseparable. The crowd kind of started doing what's, but not really much. Jey said if Jimmy is sad, he's sad. And so on and so forth. It ended with Jey saying that Jimmy is hurt. Jey is hurt as well. Jey said that he's going to disrespect Roman Reigns, and he's going to spank Rolo Sikoa. Jimmy said that he's looking at the real head of the table, and his name is Main Event Jey Uso. The crowd cheered until out came Paul Heyman. Heyman introduced himself and said Sikoa is the enforcer of the bloodline as they both walked towards the ring. Heyman said that Solo was there to enforce peace. Heyman said that next week, Jey and Roman will be face to face. Roman will be on the show next week. He won't be there tonight. He's not there tonight, but he will be on the show next week. Kind of talking about the rules and what's going to happen between the two. Heyman followed that up by saying that tonight, they just want to have a chat, want to talk about what's going on. Heyman said that Jey is sounding more and more like the tribal chief every single day. Heyman said that Solo is right in that, and Jey is very aware of it. Heyman said that Jey doesn't have the confidence that he really needs, and he's not really the right-hand man anymore. Heyman said what happened to Jimmy, well, that's all Jey's fault. Heyman said that Jey was the one who confronted Roman, and Jey was the one who wanted to be the leader. Heyman spoke to Jimmy right into the camera and said only reason Jimmy is in the hospital is because Jey Uso. Jey did not do things correctly. Heyman said that Jey's father and mother will never forgive him for what he has done and what happened to Jimmy. All his fault. All his fault. Heyman said that both he and Reigns will never forgive Jey. Sikoa put his hand out for the microphone. Heyman put it in Sikoa's hands. Sikoa said what happened to Jimmy is all Jey's fault. Solo said that he'll never forgive his brother. Brother Jey, and then threw down the mic. Jey threw an elbow at Sikoa and eventually landed a super kick on Solo, which left Jey alone with Paul Heyman. The crowd rose from the altercation. Before Jey could get his hands on Heyman, Solo returned to the ring and beat Jey down. Sikoa went for the Samoan spike, but Jey countered and started working some ground and pound on Solo Sikoa for actually hitting a huge super kick on Paul Heyman. Jey landed a suicidal drive on Sikoa, who was on the outside. Then the crowd went nuts. Left in the ring was Jey Uso back and Heyman. Jey tried to attack Heyman with a chair, But Solo Sikoa jumped in the ring, and so, well, Jay attacked Solo with the chair instead. Jay hit Solo with the chair, and Solo rolled to the outside. He and Heyman then left as Jay stood tall with a chair in the ring. So yeah, I thought this was a good segment. We're building things up, but it's like, this could have been better. I don't know. I think they should have had Roman on the show. Roman Reigns needed to be there. It's kind of just like, we'll try and do something because Roman's not here this week. Roman will be here next week. So let's see what we can do. It's kind of just meh. It wasn't bad, but it just felt like, how do I explain it? It just felt like we're doing something to waste some time to try and build things up, but not really build anything that great because we need Jay and Roman. We don't need Heyman and Solo there. We're done with all of that. It just needs to be Roman, set up the match for SummerSlam, and go from there. It just kind of felt like, Roman didn't want to show up this week, so we just needed something to fill time. We then had a four-way. It was AJ Styles, Butch, Santos Escobar, and Grayson Waller. The winner of this match will then face off against the winner of another fatal four-way in 2 weeks, and then the winner will become the new number one contender, the United States Championship. Austin Theory, the U.S. champion, was on commentary. Waller started the match off soon as the bell rang, and boom! He just punches Butch. He goes to the outside and kind of starts jaw-jacking, Waller that is, with Austin Theory. Butch went right after Waller. And then inside the ring, Escobar worked over Styles with some chops until Styles put Escobar over the top rope to the outside. Butch and Styles squared off in the ring and traded pin attempts until Waller went for a double pin on both, but only got a 2. Styles and Butch then fought until Escobar came off the top rope and took them both out. Waller took Escobar down, but Escobar came back with a boot to the face. Waller came back and ran into a German suplex on Butch. Everybody started exchanging moves, and everybody was down at one point. After a commercial break, Butch was doing his finger spot. You know, he does the whole, breaking the fingers and whatnot on Grayson Waller. Waller then dumped Butch to the outside in response, and Styles hit a sliding forearm on Waller. Styles hit a knee to the back of Waller's neck and went for the pin, but Butch broke up the pin. Escobar then came into the ring and flipped Butch onto Styles, who pinned Butch for a 2. Escobar then came right back and took down Styles before going to the top rope. Waller cut Escobar off, and Butch hit Waller with an enziguri. Styles then finally got up, and all 4 men were in the corner. Then, so we've got all these guys in the corner. Santos Escobar is standing on the top rope. He does the sunset flip. He flips over everybody, and we get like a triple power bomb deal, sunset flip. Really cool moment here. I liked it. Escobar hit knees on everybody after they got to their feet. Escobar then landed a phantom driver on Waller, but only got a 2 off of it. Waller rolled to the outside, and the 3 baby faces stood in the ring, taking strikes and whatnot. Cole said the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." And this match did start getting really cool. I really thought farther and farther this match went, the better and better the match actually went. Eventually, Waller lifted Butch, but Butch worked out of it and kicked the back of Waller. Waller threw Butch in the outside, but was ultimately the recipient of a moonsault from Butch. Escobar then followed that up with a splash, but quickly, Styles sent Butch up for a Styles clash inside the ring. Then all of a sudden on the big screen, as AJ was going for the pin, Karrion Kross appears, and he's taking out everybody on the OC. He's got everybody down, and AJ's kind of distracted there. AJ then just jumps out of the ring and leaves. AJ's like, "Oh no, Gallows and Anderson, I need to go help." And it's like, he just leaves. Like, screw everybody else. Screw the match. It's like, no, what? Come on. Not a big fan of that one. AJ just like leaves. Just says, screw this match. All of a sudden, Grayson Waller jumps in the ring and hits Butch with a stunner. Butch is down. Waller's down. Santos Escobar comes off the top ropes, splashes Waller, and pins him 1, 2, 3 to pick up the victory. So, we now know that Santos Escobar will face the winner of next week's Fatal 4-Way. That will be Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Cameron Grimes, and LA Knight. The winner of that match will again face Santos Escobar, and then the winner of the singles match will fight for the U.S. title. I think it's going to be LA Knight winning the whole thing and becoming the new number one contender for the U.S. title. That's what I think is going to happen. LA Knight wins next week, and then he's going to beat Escobar. As we move forward, Styles was backstage talking to the OC. He says Cross was right, and their feud still wasn't over. The show then cut to the Street Profits. This was dumb. And they're like, hey, we're waiting for him to show up. And I'm like, waiting for who? Is he coming? Is he? Oh, hey, I think he's here. I think he's here. And then Bobby Lashley comes out of the limo. Bobby was like, hey, guys, what's up? And then they all get back in the limo and just leave. What? We finally get Bobby Lashley back on SmackDown. We see him for not even 30 seconds and he's gone again. Are you freaking kidding me? What is this? What the hell? Are you freaking kidding me? Lashley shows up and is gone just as fast as he's there. This was dumb. I don't know what the hell this is leading to. I don't know what the hell this was even for, what this is going to be. But yeah, Bobby Lashley shows up and then he leaves all in the same moment. What? Huh? This was confusing and stupid and dumb, and I don't like it. Because I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, Street Profits just like, oh, he'll be here in a minute. He'll be here soon. And it was like, who? And then Bobby's just there, and they lead. He's like, oh, yeah, get in the limo and let's leave. Where the hell are they going? Leave for what? God. I have no clue what the hell is going on with Bobby Lashley. Like, he's back on TV, but he did nothing. And we know nothing. And we see nothing. And what the hell? So we're in the back, and Rey Mysterio cuts a promo announcing himself as a participant in next week's match. It's like, duh, we know. But then also Cameron Grimes cuts a similar promo saying that he's going to take everything to the moon, and he's going to win the Fatal 4-Way. Sheamus also said he's going to do the same thing. And then out came LA Knight. I like this. So we've been getting all these different clips on social media recently of LA Knight doing this and LA Knight doing that and LA Knight appearing on this and LA Knight appearing on that. And so LA Knight acknowledged all of that. Knight said that he stopped before talking and the crowd kind of just chanted his name. Knight said that all of a sudden, he's everywhere. People have been using him to get clicks and whatnot. And different stuff he's done, people are now bringing to social media and they're using him and whatnot. And it's like, okay, cool. Knight said that the worst decision, Knight said that he's the best decision WWE ever made. Knight said the worst decision it made was to make a U.S. title, it was to make the U.S. title invitational. Knight said that he's coming for the U.S. title. Knight said one way or another, they're going to call him a champion someday soon. The crowd was all happy for this, just going nuts for LA Knight. And yeah, again, next week, the Fatal 4-Way match will be LA Knight, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, and Cameron Grimes. I hope this match ends up at SummerSlam, LA Knight versus Austin Theory for the U.S. title. And I hope LA Knight beats Theory at SummerSlam for the title. That's just what I think is going to happen. So then we had our main event match. It was Asuka defending the WWE Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. The match itself went 9 minutes, but ended in a DQ. So as soon as the match starts, they show Bayley and Io Sky. They got tickets for the front row. Belair had the upper hand early. Sky and Bayley were yelling and watching in the front row, and all of a sudden Charlotte Flair would enter. She's also got a ticket watching in the front row. It's like, what kind of dumb shit is this? We go to commercial break. Not much happened for the first 2-3 minutes of this match. The show returned and Belair was in control. She hit a suplex and a standing moonsault for a 2. With the 2 on the top rope, her and Asuka immediately hit a shotgun dropkick and got a 2 off of it. Asuka ran at Belair and Belair moved. Eventually, she landed a spine buster and got a 2. Asuka went for the Asuka lock, but Belair rolled through and got a 2 count out of it. Belair was on the apron, but Belair lifted Asuka and hit a KOD on Asuka on the commentary table. Bayley and Sky and Charlotte all just jumped the barricade and then they started fighting. Charlotte took out Bayley and Sky. Or Charlotte took out Bayley and Sky ran Charlotte into the ring post. Charlotte then speared Belair, which caused a disqualification, with technically Asuka winning and retaining the title. Sky hit Charlotte in the head with her Money in the Bank's briefcase. Bayley and Sky tried to cash in, but Asuka hit Bayley with the misc, and it all just kind of stopped. Cash in didn't happen. Asuka walked away, and the show just ended with all the women frustrated. Asuka's walking up the ramp, smiling, and we've got Bayley, and we've got Io, and we've got Bianca, and we've got Charlotte all kind of mad and frustrated and like, and it was just weird. A weird finish of the show. I don't know. I don't know exactly what to say, but yeah. I think we're going to get a triple threat at SummerSlam. Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca. But now, maybe we get a 4-way and Bayley gets added. Maybe we get a 5-way and it's Bayley and I don't know. I'm so confused on this because I thought we knew what was going to happen. I thought it was obvious what was going to happen. Charlotte was going to get involved, and then we just go from there tonight. But now they've got Bayley and Io, and I don't know what's... It was all very confusing how this show ended. It was just very weird, confusing, and meh. But with that is everything that took place tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, I forgot to do most of the polls, but I did do the YouTube live poll. So we do have the YouTube live poll where 79% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and no, 79% liked the show, 11% thought it was just all right, and 8% did not like SmackDown. So I thought the show was good, but kind of like some of the things were kind of just meh. I don't think it's going to be I don't think the ratings are going to be as good as last week for sure. That's 100%. Ratings are probably going to be down this week from last because it was just a show. It really felt like just an episode of SmackDown that they were just like, oh, crap. Yeah, we got some things, but we just got to get through this week. We just got to get through this week, and then next week we'll do some more. So, could have been a better show, I am saying. It could have been a better episode of SmackDown. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, we'll be back live. Hopefully, I do have some stuff that I have to do personally tomorrow, but hopefully I can be live tomorrow night for AEW Collision, because tomorrow's Collision's a packed show. We've got both finals of the Owen Hart tournament, and we have the 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. So hopefully I can do the review live tomorrow night after Collision. If not, then we'll just do it Saturday morning. So with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.